In this tutorial, we are going to discuss traversing a string using loops with if conditions. So let us move and discuss that how we are going to use the if conditions. First thing, if we want to read a character one at a time from a string and want to check each character by using if conditions, we need to understand the how we are going to use the if. First thing is, and we need to understand the how to read the characters. For reading the characters, we need three types of loops: for, within, for in we are going to use. Second is for with range, and third we are going to use while loop. So first we need to discuss these three, that how we are going to use these three loops. Then we will discuss that how we are going to use the if conditions. So when we move to the second part, here it is a sample text. This is a sample text. So what we are going to do, we are going to read these characters which are inside the boxes. You know that string always start with the index value 0. I'm going to discuss all the three methods. So I'm going to show you all the three methods, and then we will discuss with the animation also. So when we move to the part, that is first one, for in, for ch in nm. This is a line. Ch is going to read characters from the string nm. Second is for x in range 0, k nm of x. This line is also going to be used. Nm of x is going to read the characters, and I've already taken k equals to length of nm, so it will work up to k is going to be -1. We have already discussed in a previous video. Next one is going to be the while loop. It is the same as in the case of the for x in range. K equals to length of nm, then I declare one variable, that is x. X is going to start from the 0, that is means that it is an index value 0, that is t capital, and it will works less than k, means less than 1 less, means if the value is 20, the last is 20, it will be give you 21, because it start from 1. When the length is going to count it 1 2 3 4 5, but the index value start from 0, so it will be 20. So less than k means 20. Print nm of x is going to read the character 1 0 1 2 3 4 like this, and x equals to x plus 1 means increment, it will increase the value. So this is the way. So I've already given the show the note also. In these two cases, nm of x is going to read the single character from the string. I'm going to show you one animation that will go to, from where you're going to understand the concept more clearly. Now if you go through the screen, there is a string is written. This is a sample text, and when I'm going to show you the animation, it will show you the process, that how it is going to work. If you go through if you are working in a for loop, for ch and nm, this ch is going to be used. Ch is going to read the characters, that is shown in the arrow also. All the characters are going to read out, and it will store inside the ch. That means in for ch dot in nm, ch is very important part, because ch will store the read the characters from a string. Next, if you move to the second thing, that is using of for x in range or while loop. In that case, if you go through that, nm is very important part. This nm is going to read out the characters, and according to the x, here it is the x, and x is going to provide you the index value. If you go through that, it will be changing every time, and automatically the characters are also been changing. It will change the character. That means nm is going to read out the characters, and those are going to store inside the nm of x, not nm only. Nm is a string. Nm of x, when you're going to use, we can use the single character at a time read out. So this is the method that nm of x is going to be used in both the cases, for x in range and for case of while loop. In both the cases, the same process is going to be done. So this will show you that how it is going to work. Now you understand how to use these three loops. So let us understand the concept with the help of practically also. So I'm going to show you the sample. Nm in a IDE of Python, nm equals to, this is a sample, and for ch in nm. Now if I'm going to execute this, that will show you the same line. You go downward, you will find out the output. This is a sample. This is the first case when I'm using the first case. If I move to the second case now, I'm using the second case. Now I'm using for x in range. So I'm working in range question now, and I'm using the same line, k equals to length of nm, x in range 0 to k and nm of x. When I'm going to execute this line, again it will give you the same answer. This is a sample, this is a sample, this is the second one. Now we understand the second one also. If I move to the third one using a while loop, so this is the line of while loop, and same thing, k equals to length of nm, x is 0, x is less than k, nm of x, and x equals to x plus 1. When I'm going to execute this line, it will give you the same. This is a sample. One more thing, I've written this line k equals to len. If I'm not going to write it down this line here, in some cases it is not going to be written here, and directly in place of this k, len of nm is going to written. So this is also the same thing. I've directly used that, and if I'm going to execute this, it will give me the same answer. So don't need to be confused why I'm using these are the two things that you can use. Sometimes it is written there also, and sometimes it is in the while loop directly they are going to write it down. In many cases programs are written this way also, so you don't need to be confused. So let us move to the next part. Now let us understand the use of if condition. So let us move to the next page. Now the thing is that how we're going to use if condition. If you go through the line, I've already written that you have to remove the line in green color and write if condition as shown in the next example. So I'm going to show you the first the green line. Here is a green line, print ch, print nm of x, print. It doesn't mean that nm is not print is not going to be used. It is going to be used, but I'm telling you that where you are going to put the if condition. Means after the loop is going to start, you have to put the if condition, because if is going to work inside the loop. So for x in range 0 to k, here this line is going to be removed. For ch dot ch, for ch in nm, print ch, this is going to be removed. Same way in the while also. So how it is going to be done, that we are going to discuss. Here is the same thing I'm using, nm equals to, this is a sample text and it is already given there. Now when I'm going to show you, this is the line. Because I remove that line, and it is going to show you where you are going to put the if condition. So I put a fill up, and in place of the in this fill up you have to fill the if condition. So this is the concept that you need to learn, that in the case of all the three questions using all the three loops, this is the line where you have to put the if condition if you want to check, because ch is going to give you single character. Same way for x in range, nm of x is going to give you, same way in while also. So this is the process that you need to understand. This is a fill up that you're going to fill, and nm of x is going to be used. You already know that in these two cases nm of x is going to be used. Only in the first case you have to use ch for checking. Now let us move. Now I'm going to take one example. I'm going to show you a diagram also, that how it is going to work. The program is programmed to count number of a in a string. If you go through the, I'm using for in. First time use it is simple. For in is very easy, so mostly the for in is going to be used, but we're going to do the practice of other loops also using range and while loop. This is a string, this is a sample text. If you go through, there are two a are given, small letters a are given, so the output is going to be 2. So how it is going to find out by the Python program, that we are going to discuss. So let us move to the next page now. This is the first a and this is the second a. I'll put the arrow also, so you are going to understand where these two a and counting is 2. Now first thing you need to understand, if we need to count, we need to have one variable also that is going to count that number of a in a string. So this is a program to count. So step 1. So you already know that when the step 1 is going to be there, that means that we need to initialize the string. So this is the first step. nm equals to, this is a sample text. This is a string that is going to store inside the nm. That means this string that is given at the top is going to be inside the nm. So it is the first line, because without initialization of the string you are not supposed to find out anything. So first line you need to write it down. Now we move to the second one. Now when we move to the second line is going to be in case of counting. when we are going to using a for in, first line is then count equals to 0. That what I have told you, that if you need to count something, you have to declare a variable, and I declare a variable that is going to be initialized by 0, because there is nothing at the starting, so you have to put the 0 inside that. Now we move to the next line. Now what is the next line is, that is going to be for ch in nm. Now ch, you already know that is going to read the characters from the string. Now when we move to the next part, now this is the condition. If ch in single quotes a, or you put a bracket, or you are not supposed to put the bracket, you directly put single quote a, that means it's going to read out all the characters from the string, and when it find a and it is going to be equal to ch, then only the counting is going to be done. That means the next line is going to be count equals to count plus 1. The count plus 1 is only going to be executed when ch in single quotes a is going to be found inside that string that is given. So this is the way. Next part, when the counting is over, you have to print number of a in a string. So this line is going to be the last line, and it is going to be at the last, and it is not going to inside the for loop, it is outside the for loop. So you have to shift towards the left side and write it down straight line, exact down at the for loop line of the for. Indentation is very important in Python. Now this is your full program. Now let us discuss this practically. So we move to the Python IDE and discuss about it. This is the program that I am using. Same, nm equals to, this is a sample count. I declare count equals to 0. Then I read the line for the use of for in, for ch in nm, single character store in a ch, and check that with the ch in a, in a single quote, how many a are there, and according to that this counter is going to be increased, and I already initialized that count with the 0. So now when after the loop is going to be finished, I'm going to write down the print is going to be the last line, and number of a equals to count. If I'm going to execute this program, it will display me number of a 2, 1 and 2. If I copy this line here, copy it, and I pasted again, paste again. Now 1 2 3 4 5 6. If I execute this line, now it is going to be increase the a. Now there are a going to be increased. If I make some of the a in a capital letter, this one is capital, this a is also going to be capital. Now again I am going to execute. Now 4 is going to be displayed. That means capital A is not going to be checked by this. It is not going to be part. You know that ASCII value of 6597. So if you want to check both small and capital A, what you are going to do, in the same line where you have written A, put small a and capital A. Now it will go to check small and capital A both. If I'm going to execute now, going to show me that is going to be 6 now. Now if you need to count a plus s, now if you write down a and then s, it means a, small a, capital A and small s, and I have changed that one of the s to capital. This one also sample s is going to be capital. Now if I'm going to execute this, it's going to be how many? 6 7 8 13. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and then 8 9 10 11 12 13. 6 of a and 7 are going to be there, so it's going to be 13 total is going to be displayed. The same way if you need to check vowels, so in the place of this a, e, I, o, u in small and a, e, I, o, u capital, so it will be give you the answer of vowels. This is the way the questions are going to be done. Change the conditions and you will get the correct answer. If you apply this in a you want to do this question again in a second method, so you can use a second method also. You know that it's a range question, same line, same thing. A is there. If you want to change that, make it capital A. If I'm going to make it capital A, now if you want to count, it will display me 1. There are 2 are there, but it will display me 1. If you need that, you put it A there. Now it will give me the answer, that is 2. Same method, only the changes that I am using what? I am using nm of x in place of ch. Why? Because in this case I am using x, which give me only the index value, and this is the way the method is going to be done. Same thing is going to apply on all the questions. If you vowel and every type of question is going to be done. If you want to use while loop, then again the same thing. Only you have to make some changes and you will get the answer in the same way. All the 3 methods are there. It is on you that you which loop you want to use, and you will get the answer. Now if you move, let us back to the slide. Now if you move to the next part, now the question is to count A and A. We have already done that. I'm showing you the same step again. Step 1, the same sample. Step 2, counting. Then step 3, for ch in nm, ch is going to store all the characters, read the single character at a time. Then the condition ch, a or a, and then next is counter, count equals to count plus 1, and then last line is print the number of a are there. So this is the method that you are going to follow. It is the same concept. You have to apply the same format, only this little changes are going to be there, and you will get the correct answer. Now next question is to remove s or s, small s and capital S from a string. First thing that you need to understand, if you want to remove or modify the string, you are not supposed to modify or remove from the original string variable. Means if you declare a variable, you are not supposed to modify or remove anything from that particular string. First you have to copy those characters in a temporary string, and then again overwrite the original string. So what are the steps that you have to follow, that we needed to know. So let us first, I'm going to show you the full program, then we will discuss how it is going to be done. Now if the question arises that remove s or small s from the string, I'm taking the same sample nm. This is a sample string. It means these 2 s are going to be removed, and the answer is going to be IA ample text. Means s or s has been removed. Line are same. Only one thing that is needed, that is nm2 double quotes, that is it's an empty string are declared. This nm2 will store the characters from the first string nm, and which one is going to give that single character at a time? The ch. For ch in nm, ch will store this space is like this, and we will check. And what is that condition? If ch not in s or s, it means not in means except small s and capital X, all the other characters are going to be stored inside this nm2. And how it is going to be done? By using a plus sign. You know that is called concat. It could attach, join those characters with nm2 and overwrite inside this nm2 with the ch will store first time t, that t plus nm2. First time nm2 is going to be blank, so blank plus ch is going to be capital T, and that will be the part of nm2. Next time when it going to read second, the ch is going to read h, so that h is going to be in place of this ch, and nm2, this here, this nm2 will show you that t, the t and h is going to override to nm2. Like this process goes on until it is not going to reach to the last character. Except these 2 s, all the characters are going to be concatenated to nm2. When we display nm2, it will display us the output like this. I'm going to show you that practically also. So now I'm going to show you that practically. Here is a program. nm equals to, this is a sample. I am put s, one as capital and one as small. nm2 is going to be empty string. ch is going to hold the characters from nm, and I'm going to check with the if condition ch not in s or s. Except these two s, everything is going to be the part of nm2, means according to the condition. nm2 equals to nm2 plus ch. So ch is going to have t h I a s except s a m p l e and the spaces, blank spaces. These are the blank spaces. These are the blank spaces. When I execute this program, you will find out it will give you two answers. One is going to be the original, this is a sample, and second is going to be the answer that we needed. Now you're going to find out that still right now nm is going to hold the original value and nm2 is having a new value. If you want that both the answers are going to be same, so we are not supposed to write down like this. What we are going to do, I press the enter key, and before I need to print it, I write down nm equals to nm2. Now what happened, it override the value of nm. Now nm2 and nm is going to have a same answer. If I'm going to execute this line, look, THIIAM, that means I change the original value to the new value which is inside the nm2, that is a temporary variable that I am using. Means if the question is there to remove a new value, display the new value, put the new value in a same variable, so this is the method that you need to follow to make the changes, and this is the way that you can do it. So like this you can overwrite or remove the original content, original string from a variable. If the question, let us discuss the same question to remove capital S or small s from a string with the diagram step by step. So I'm going to show you on the screen. There is the string, everything is written in the boxes, index is already given. I'm going to show you three methods using for in, for range and while loop, all the three methods step by step. So first line, we move to the next page. Here it is. This is the sample I'm going to give you. This side, this is of using for in, this is using for with range, and here it is with the while loop. If you go through all the steps of all the three loops, you will find out first line is going to be the same line, that is first initialize nm with the string. Nm equals to, this is a sample in this line over here also and here also. In all the three boxes you will find the same line. If you move to the next part, next is going to be, we need to remove that string. So we declare one more variable, nm2 equals to blank. It is these are the empty strings, empty string variable I declared, because this nm2 is going to store the characters from the original one. Next step is for ch in nm. Ch is going to read the characters from the string. Here for x range 0 to k, k is going to hold the length up to k. So x is going to provide us the index value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to be working the same way. Same in the while loop, x is going to be initialized with 0, that means x start with the index value 0, and length is going to be nm. Same line, k equals to nm, length of nm I have used. Here I write down length of nm. So it will be work up to the last character. Next line is we need to check. So next is for ch not in ss. Here I'm going to use ch because ch will provide us the characters. In the case of for range and while loop, nm of x is going to provide me the character. So nm x not in ss. Same. The concept is same in all the three. Then next line, if not found. So nm2 will store the character except small s and capital S are going to be concatenated and going to store inside nm2, all the three cases. In this, ch is going to provide us the character, and in these two cases nm of x is going to provide us the character. Only the change in the for range and in the while is that x equals to x plus 1 is going to be needed, because to increment the value, in this case automatically the value is going to be incremented in case of for range case. In the case of ch in, there is no need, it automatically execute or move to the next. Now next is, when everything has been done, we are going to be out of the loop in all the three cases. First thing is that we need to override the original one. So where is the original? In nm. And where is the new one? In nm2. So I initialize nm with nm2 here in all the three cases. And last is that you need to display. So this is the concept that is going to be used in all the three cases for the values. So you need to apply these concepts in all the other questions in the same way, whether it is like this or to modify or something to remove or something else. All the things are that these are the lines that you need to follow, and only the little changes are going to be done, and all the string questions only in the case of character reading this format is going to be follow.